Good morning. It's Vacation Andrew here, live from the coast of Maine. We had kind of a hot PPI number this morning. What did everybody think about that? Pretty hot. Jobless claims, a little less than expected. Definitely a little jump month over month. A little hot. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? So again, I think let's see how much the vol futures. VIX is up a little bit, 40 cents from 1-year lows. Nina T says, doesn't seem the market wants to sell off right now. I would say it doesn't. Again, we'll talk about this in Rip Zone today in my pro class, but it doesn't want to sell off. And you know what else I think? I think this is going to reduce. This is going to take, I think, some of the rate cut off the table. James H says, James says VXX up to 39. Is that up 20 cents today? James H? That's not much of a look at today's candle. Eep, eep. Where was the low yesterday? Just saying. At this rate, VIX is going to be down on the day. The vol products are going to be down on the day. Just saying. I don't think you're going to get it today. I think those futures are a little heavy. What happened overnight? Today, the big news, PPI came in a little hot. Gene Mark says mostly in services, not a worry. But I think it's going to take some of the rate cut off the table. We'll see how that shakes. Today, you're probably wondering what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about a couple of things. And the first thing I'm going to do today is we're going to talk about different types of orders. So I got a question for everybody. Put it in the notes. Do you spend time watching the market for a close? Like, are you looking at chart, where am I going to close? How am I going to close? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? All this stuff. So, and I don't mean to enter your trade. But to close your trade. Does closing your trade give you agita? I look for trades like a chicken with my head cut off. Well, we do have solutions for those things. We have solutions for those things. So I'm just going to tell you I'm just going to tell you what I do. So good till cancel order. Another thing for you. How many of you put on a trade but don't know where you're going to exit? How many of you have ever done that before? I'm just going to put this trade on, but I don't know how I'm going to get out. I don't think that's the best way to go. I think you got to have, and you have to have a conception of where you can exit reasonably. And that's what a GTC order is. It's good till canceled. So in my head, I don't buy options unless I have an exit planned out. The easiest way to have an exit planned out is to put a closing order in. So for my students, I know not all of your Option Pit students, or you're a student of mine, I put out GTC orders. Why do I do that? You put your order in and it sits there. And if the market moves and takes it out, should you be happy? If your GTC fills, should you be happy? And not just wearing this hat happy, I mean happy, happy. If your GTC fills, Nina T, she says sometimes, and I know that's true. Oh, if I would have just put it a little farther away. So anyway, my suggestion is you have an exit and you put that exit into a GTC order. That way it's always in there, and the market and your system is probably the best thing you can do as a retail trader. It's in there. It's waiting. If we gap, it fills. And then move on to something else. Right? After a fill, remove it from your mind. Again, hardest thing to do. Still, after 35 years, not the easiest thing for me to do either. A market order. A market order is, I want it now. So the only reason to use a market order is you want it now for some reason. I would say most option trades, you don't need a market order. MKT market order, right? Market order. I want it now. The only time I can, sometimes a trailing stop becomes a market order. I don't use market orders rarely at all. Rarely at all. A limit order is, I want it at a price. This, by the way, is probably the best thing you have as a retail trader, because you can, like, so professional market makers, if you think about it, and you see, you see all these markets. They post these markets here, right? God, is this Reddit still going up? Oh, Peloton's going up. That's good for some of my flash fibers. Good for some of my pros too. We got that little risk reversal going. This market, they're obligated to trade on it when they put those things are. So do they get a choice whether they get to buy or sell it? Right? They're making a two-sided market. They don't really like, okay, we're buying or selling it, right? But you can choose when you enter. That's your biggest advantage. So you should spend most of the products, I would say all the op pit. I know, right? I still have my Reddit shares from Flash 5. I sold the options, but not the shares. Those are up like $90. It's ridiculous. $90 in a week, 2 weeks. It's crazy town. I'm not looking at it though, Jose. Anyway, so that's your biggest advantage. Use it. Yeah, I'm not selling any of the Reddit. I bought some for my wife's accounts. I told my sons to buy it. So I can't figure out why they don't like pins more. But back to selling puts on that one. All right. A stop. Okay, usually it's to keep a gain. I only like stops to keep a gain. For me personally, stop is so the underlying trades at a price. Or let's say the option trades at a price. Then it becomes a limit order. Again, this is letting your brokerage do the work for you. Now, I will say something about a stop. They're generally not at great prices in the market. So you have to really want to be taken out. Do I ever use a buy stop? I don't think so, WA. Is that a trailing stop? Oh, Jephthah, way to go. Was Reddit my Monday pick, or was that Hans's? God, I can't remember what my Monday pick was. I'm starting to lose my mind. Probably Hans or Mark. Oh, a buy stop at a higher price. I mean, if you're closing a short option, I could see that, WA. I could see that. I can't even believe I could remember that. Yeah, TKO was my long pit. TKO was my long pit on Monday. Yeah, I like Reddit. I'm long a fair amount of that right now. Like a month ago, it was under $100. It was back down to like $90. You could buy it, and like I'm gonna say, as late as May, it's below 100. Okay. Now a trailing stop is another one. So I'm just going to stay with the stop order. I think, especially with the type of products I trade, a lot of vol products and SPY and things like that. Once I have a gain, I try to stop the gains. Meaning, if there's a reversal, I don't want to miss my gains. Because you could have a limit, which is great, but if you don't get there and the market changes its mind, I want to be out, take my money. This is probably the habit of just taking profits is probably the best habit you can get into. Even if it's not as much as you could have gotten, be happy with it. Be happy with it. Yeah, my long pit was TKO at the beginning of the week. I don't think it's hit my $200. It hasn't hit my $200 ding yet, I don't think. Last trailing stop. Basically, this is tied to the underlying price. So basically what happens is the stock pulls back a little bit, I'm out. Or if my gains, I lose X gains, I'm out. This is also a good way to do it because a trailing stop basically is, a trailing stop as a percentage of profits is pretty good because, the higher it goes, the bigger your stop gets a little wider. Can you give an example of a stop order? What should be a difference between a limit and a stop? Well, a limit order is just, I want to buy something or sell something at a price, right? And a limit order is what I would call a limit order in general has 3 speeds. You're near the market, so you're away, on, or at. So an away order is outside of the bid ask. Right. So basically, if the bid ask is at 110, 115, a limit order would be buy below or sell above. If I'm on the market, you're basically trading anywhere between 110 and 115. When you're at the market, you're basically taking a trade with a market limit order. Do you guys understand the 3 speeds? So I'm just saying, this is how aggressive you can be with a limit order. So 57 wolves, the easiest thing to do with IB personally is you have to go look at the videos on how they set up their orders, because IB does something different than everybody else. It is unique. So generally what I have found is the stop is the trip price, and the limit is the high or low that you will be filled at. Hold on here. I just filled something. Oh, okay. So volatility is starting to go down again. All right. And the very last thing, because I want to get to the end here of our thing. Isn't a market order an invitation to a market maker? I want to be fleeced. I mean, you could say it like that, WA. An alert is just setting up a notice in your system, but without a trade attached to it. So I prefer to set a notice in the underlying and then execute the order for most of my stops. And that's just what an alert is. Gordon C says, what if the spread is only 1 cent? Well, if it's only 1 cent, then you all the same rules apply, Gordon C. You just have a 1 cent wide market. You're either away from it, you're going to be on it, or you're going to be at it. So this is just, again, when you put limit orders away from the market, you're not expecting them to get executed anytime soon. When you're on the market, you're trading in between wherever the markets are. And when you're at the market, you're like, I want it now. Everybody get the difference in 3 speeds? Most of the stuff we execute, at least in my products here at Option Pit, are generally somewhere on the market, and our GTCs are away. Sometimes we'll let a buy order come to us. I have missed some good trades due to limit orders. If it is a good trade and still make good money, like I don't mind paying a nickel more on a limit order, Jephthah. Like it's not that big a deal. And when you're closing, like a lot of times you could close and you're, oh, it's a nickel away from my close. Just depends on what you like to do. But again, I'm just trying to say here, you're trying to make your life a little easier. Trading is hard enough. So the idea of just thinking about the types of orders you can put in and and learning your system, learning whatever trading system you have, right? You can have those walk limit orders and even in Schwab, TradeHawk, Tradier has all kinds of stuff. Right? Stop limit. Again, this isn't the whole list. But what, again, you're here for is, oh, an OCO order. I forgot about that one too. Thank you. This is OCO as one cancels the other. Right? That's a fairly common order. Basically, it's a stop with a GTC. And it fills whatever hits first. Right? So you have a stop order on one side, right? Now, the difference you're asking about the different kind of, so a stop order is always going to be through the limit. So a stop order by definition will always be away from the market, but in the wrong direction. So a stop order on the upside means I'm going to buy it above the market if it gets there. A stop order below the market means I'm going to sell the option away from the market, right, when it gets there. So these are orders that are essentially would be filled right away, but you're waiting for the market to get there. Yeah, I think an OCO is good, especially I think OCO is a good daytime order, meaning I'm up some money. I want to protect the little gain I have. So you're trying to put that limit way down there, and then you stop way down, and then you have a limit that you think you're going to get to. I think it's a great, it's an order to put in every day. I don't think it's a great GTC order, right? Because you get some weird gap opening, you're stopped out, and then the market just does whatever it wants. I don't think it's a great, so it's better when you put this kind of order on once the market opens and things are kind of flowing. All right, now we're going to get to, hopefully you like that. I don't know if anybody's ever walked through the different kind of orders before. There's probably other kinds. I could spend a lot more time on each of these. But for now, you have a video to give you an idea of what you're doing. If you've never used different orders before, hopefully this was helpful. You could even put it in the chat and said, hey, Andrew, this was helpful. I learned something. And guess what the price was? It was free. Now, I saw some thing with Monument Traders or something. Or what was it? What was it called here? What was it called here? What was it called here? Let me see. I'm going to get to you in a minute. Paradigm Press. They're like Paradigm Press. This company, they did this thing recently, launching an idea. And two of the big ideas. One was MP, which Frank got a long time ago. And the other was Palantir, but we haven't looked at Palantir in quite a long time. Both stocks that I bought, although I was taken out of MP, I'm still long some Palantir. I'm long USAR. I I got taken out of RCAT, taken out of SMR. I'm still long XOM, and I got taken out of Hood. Oh, I'm still long Hood. Rees didn't learn anything today. You want your money back. I can't. Reese, the check is in the mail. So, but these are MP and even Palantir stocks that, Frank I work with at Capital Gains. He's very good. And we basically are, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to reloading this. I'm reloading this. I'm reloading this. I'm just saying, come into Capital Gains and figure it out. But in the short term, for special situations, basically, this is what Frank is telling me here. Okay. China is closing lithium mines because they can't make money mining lithium. So if this practice is only going to push lithium prices up. Now, Frank's involved in two key sectors, companies that he is a part of. One is drones and one is rare earth. The government likes both those sectors. Also, the thought of domestic lithium mining, this current administration is changing the way they deal with mines. So I think there will be a lot more opportunity around lithium and lithium mining in the short term. If China cannot make money in lithium, how will the U.S. do it? I don't know. I don't know, Sniper. Maybe they're just not doing a good job of it. Well, I mean, also, I think it's possible that China has greenlit projects that maybe were too expensive to extract. The biggest problem here is regulation. So it's like Sniper's asking if China can't make money in lithium, how will the U.S. do it? It's the same thing. How did China lose money putting up all those buildings all over Shanghai? I'm just saying. So anyway, this is a theme. We will launch this with special situations on Friday. This is the stock here. It's like a $3 stock. If you're interested, join special situations. I put trades in there maybe once a month. Special situation idea comes from me. These are, look them up yourself. These are all, again, this is a Frank idea. These are all stocks he has recommended over the last year, 2 years that have gone freaking crazy. Just saying, no future performance is, past performance is no future guarantee, but I'll be buying this stock too. Anyway, so today to wrap up, opportunity in lithium. Check out special situations on Friday. All special situation members, you're going to get that anyway. And for yourself, understand the type of orders you put in is going to make your trading life easier. And that is state of the market today. I hope you enjoyed it. I am out for a week. I'll see you all the following Monday. Not a week from now, but next week.